Hello YouTube, Flashlight Enthusiast here. Recently I had a pleasure to test multiple flat EDC flashlights, from Roy Vivon E90 to Jetbeam E26 Kunai, and last but not least the Nightcore EDC29, which was just a beast of an output in this category. Today I have a pleasure to also present to you the Acebeam UC20, which is the first flat EDC, so the market entry in this category, and I have to tell you that this flashlight is way different than three other I mentioned. Definitely some unique offering from Acebeam, and let's explore together what UC20 offers. On a side note, I got this flashlight directly from Acebeam, and if you are interested in getting UC20, there is an affiliate link below this video with a special coupon code for our community. It helps the channel quite a bit and gets you some discount. The UC20 comes in an attractive standard Acebeam package with orange accents and all the information you need on the package. So you've got the traditional output, range, some key features, company details at the back, as well as applications of this flashlight. What I like is that everything is even well organized inside the box. Accessories include the user manual, a short powerbank style USB to USB-C charging cable, the warranty card, a product certification, and last but not least a spare USB-C charging port cover, which is quite nice. The design of Acebeam UC20 is quite simple, however also quite unique at the same time. Unlike most flat EDC flashlights, the head is definitely not flat but rather pointing out with single LED. The majority of flashlight is made out of single piece of aluminum with only the head and the battery compartment being screwed to the metal body. It is completely flat and smooth, so the grip is only provided by these two grooves at the side. However, it is definitely way more comfortable to hold in your hand and in your pocket than something with this aggressive knurling. Although it does feature a tail switch, it is definitely intended for civil use rather than a tactical application. At the back we've got black anodized pocket clip with dual directions, so the carryability of this flashlight is well addressed. If you like, there is also a lanyard attachment here, however it is not included in the set. And if you're not a fan of pocket clip, you can unscrew it with the Storx T5. Everything is so smooth and well finished as you would expect from Acebeam and a premium quality flashlight. At the front we've got three different LEDs. The main one is the SFT25R-Hi, so optimized for throw, and for such tiny little reflector and emitter, the beam is definitely clean and a little bit throwy. There is also red LED and UV one, providing additional source of light and additional features. What you will usually find here is the green laser, however Acebeam provided a red LED, which I find quite useful. Nevertheless, I still miss the green laser here though. As the battery is non-removable, you have to rely on external charging, which is in here, the USB-C charging port. It is covered by this rubber cover and spare one is in the package as you've seen, and the charging is definitely quite fast for such a small little flashlight. I also quite appreciate the dual switch UI, so we've got the main switch and the tail switch with dual stage design, so Acebeam has incorporated this in numerous flashlights now. So you can half press it and fully press it, depending on what you do the function is a little bit different, and you always have your access to the turbo when you lightly press it and the strobe mode when you fully press the switch, which is quite nice. The rest of the modes is operating via the side switch, so one click for on, one click for off. There is the hold from off to enter the ultra low moonlight mode, and now in the loop you hold the switch to select the three different levels, so low, medium, high in the loop. The turbo is only accessed via the tail switch, which has some drawbacks and pluses at the same time. When you double tap, there is your red LED, which is slightly off center, which can be seen now in the Beamshots. What you can do is slightly rotate the flashlight to make it point out center, however it is slight inconvenience in my view. Thanks to the frosted glass, the beam is even and pleasant, and when you hold the switch you've got two different levels, so we've got the low mode for some inspections and high mode for walking. Definitely way more red light than I would expect from a flat EDC flashlight. Regardless of what mode you used before in red light, it will always turn on in the low mode. To activate the UV light you have to triple click the switch. The UV light is definitely way different than I'm used to with other flashlights and more in a violet shape. I quickly compared it with my Skill Hunt Mix 7 and noticed one interesting thing. Taking for instance Polish money. While using Acebeam you can see some unknown details illuminating with UV. However, with Skill Hunt you can see much more unknown details, which is invisible with Acebeam UV, which is quite interesting. The difference could be also spotted while inspecting for cleanliness of different parts. Here is the Acebeam, and here is the Skill Hunt. Definitely way different. What is worth mentioning is that Acebeam UC20 is quite lightweight even for such construction, weighing only 82 grams or 2.9 ounces. Recently I reviewed the JetBeam E26 kunai. As you can see, it weighs a little bit more with 115 grams or 4.1 ounces, while the pure Lumen beast in this category, the EDC29 from Nightcore, weighs a whopping 159 grams or 5.6 ounces. So if you care for the weight in your pockets, the Acebeam UC20 from this three is definitely way to go. While the use of tail switch is usually momentary, here there is a momentary turbo output and strobe mode. However, if you press it for more than 5 seconds, the output becomes constant, which is quite nice. And when you activate the turbo output in that matter, you can actually turn it off using the side switch. As the battery is built in, you have to rely on an internal lockout. You have to activate it by pressing the switch and holding it for 3 seconds until the 3 blinks display, and now when you hit the switch it will blink red to indicate that the flashlight is locked out. To unlock it, just press the switch and wait for the flashlight to turn on. As usual in case of Acebeam, we've got a 3-stage battery indicator under the switch, which is green, red and flashing red until you turn off the flashlight. When you plug in your USB-C charging source, the battery indicator will turn into the charging indicator with red LED blinking while charging and green one when the charging has been finished. Here are my Lumen measurements of the Acebeam UC20. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Despite the compact size, the UC20 provides a solid performance. As you can see, we've got around 1102 lumens and start, and after 2 minutes and 43 seconds we still got over 894 lumens before a quick step down over the course of 30 seconds to around 430 lumens, which is the sustainable level of this flashlight. Given the size, this is still quite impressive without overheating the body, as it only achieves around 42 degrees Celsius. Overall runtime is 50 minutes before turning off. And here is the high mode of the white LED. So as you can see, again, flat output regulation with good excellent driver, around 475 lumens at start and around 458 lumens sustainable output for around 57 minutes before turning off. Is the Acebeam UC20 a really do-all flat EDC flashlight? Well, definitely not, however it does provide a ton of useful features. First of all, it is definitely smooth, compact and way more comfortable than other EDC flashlights I used in terms of weight and thin shape. I like that Acebeam incorporated dual switch design, so I always have access to turbo and strobe mode regardless of the situation. UI is simple and not complicated, however sometimes confusing when you double or triple tap the switch and the white LED goes on first. The beam pattern of white LED is definitely great and quite throwy for such a teeny tiny flashlight, giving it the purpose of more a backup outdoor light rather than an EDC flashlight for indoor applications. Thanks to the focused beam, the 1000 lumen output is not perceived as low, even compared to nowadays market standards above 2000 lumens in these constructions. I have the reservations to the second and third LED though. While red LED is a great addition and I highly appreciate that, in an EDC flashlight the beam pattern could be a little bit improved. While the shape of the beam is good, it points a little bit sideways, which might be quite inconvenient in some usages. Same goes with the UV light, and with tested functionality I have the reservation if it could be actually useful for the cleanliness inspection as it is marketed. Kudos for quick USB-C charging and useful battery indicator and good runtimes on a built-in battery. I hope you enjoyed this quick review of the Acebeam UC20. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you did, to support the algorithm and not to miss any future videos that I release. If you have any questions or personal comments about the Acebeam UC20, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching and we will see you in the next one.